Hello friends, welcome back to my channel. My name is Natalie and I'm the artist and owner behind NMC Design Studio, which is a small art business based out of Seattle, Washington. Today we are in the first part of a 3-part video series on how I am redesigning my website. So for some background of why I'm even wanting to do this in the first place, I kind of threw together my website with like some plan and some design thought, but I really didn't go through the user experience or UX design process to create my website. And I'd really like to go back and do that. And right now is a really good time for me to think about and go about redesigning my website because I am planning on moving hosting platforms. I'm currently using Wix and they have not the greatest politics. They're an Israeli company, so they don't have the greatest politics around Palestine specifically. And I've been wanting to move off of their platform for like the last year and a half, 2 years, but like right before a bunch of the stuff happened, I had committed to a 3-year-long subscription to their services that I had already paid for. So my thought was I will stick around for the next like 1.5, 2 years and then redesign and move. So that subscription is up in, I believe, July or August of this year. So need to be off of there by then, and preferably a little bit sooner, especially so I can kind of like test some things. But you might be asking, I mentioned it a little bit earlier, what is the user experience UX design process that you speak of? I do actually have another video on this on my channel that kind of goes more vaguely over the process, but just like really simple, break it down. We start with usually user research and problem definition. So actually talking to whoever is going to be using whatever the product is, in this case, our art website. So talking to customers and users of the website and asking them what they need from a website for it to function well for them, right? To be able to get them to whatever their goal is. And I've actually done that already, so we'll walk through that in a moment. But after you've done the user research, kind of defined the problem as well, then you can start into what we call ideation. And it's kind of what you would think of if you're thinking of like idea generation, ideation. You're coming up with a bunch of ideas based on what you've learned about your users' problems, their needs, and figuring out how you can solve those problems and meet your users' needs. And this can be done with like sketches, it can be done with a thing called wireframes. You can also use a couple different tools to kind of make it make more sense. Some of these tools are called like user flows and information architecture. I'm probably going to lean more heavily into the user flow and information architecture part and won't get into kind of like the visuals of the site until we get to mid and high fidelity prototypes. So that's when we're actually kind of like looking and seeing, mocking up, or not make believe, prototyping what the website or final product is going to actually look like when it's all implemented. And then in an ideal world, you would have some more rounds of user feedback in there to check to see if the things that you thought would solve your users' problems or meet their needs are actually going to solve their problems or meet their needs. So that's probably like talking to users and showing them the prototypes or the mock-ups. If you have an interactive prototype where someone can click through the different screens and things feel like they're actually working, that can also be a thing that you show to users and get their feedback on. And then the final step is implementation. So that's when you're actually making those designs, those mock-ups that you made, a reality. And as always, because small business, oftentimes what I've just talked about is shared responsibility between at least 3 different people usually. So all of this to say, as usual in small business world, you're doing the job of many, many people, which is kind of to be expected. It's just how it goes. Okay, so now we're gonna talk about what I've done thus far, and then we'll start working on some things together. So like I mentioned, I have actually planned and executed some user research already. I'll kind of show you what that looks like. So I have this template that I actually made that I use in, again, my 9 to 5. What I really like about it is we have this section for the planning. So we have this section where we're talking about what do we hope to learn from this research, because it's really important to not just go into research without a plan. You kind of want to know what your goals are. So my goals in this case were, who are my core website users? How do online shoppers find products they're interested in? How do online shoppers browse their retail websites? What are users' favorite features in retail websites? And what makes online shoppers purchase? This is more important in corporate setting, but we kind of rank each of those based on how actionable or unactionable the results from, or the answers to the question will be. And we also rank it on how soon we need it or how far away we need it. So in this case, the most actionable and most soonly needed is what are users' favorite features in retail websites. That's because those features will kind of determine what platform I go forward with. If a user has a feature that isn't available in 3 out of 4 platforms that I could possibly choose from, I'll probably choose from that 4th one. What makes online shoppers purchase is also kind of important to know sooner. It's a little bit less actionable. And then knowing how online shoppers browse through retail websites and how they find products they're interested in are both more actionable things, but they're things that I don't necessarily need right now. They're things that I can make changes to the website in the future. And then down here in the need soon but not really actionable is who are my core website users. So just reevaluating what I hope to learn from this research. After doing that, I've taken away the who are my core website users and kept the other 4 options. And then just to redetermine priority and make sure that we know why we're doing this research, the actionable steps that we hope to achieve from the results of this research are create information architecture for the website, determine what features to prioritize in a new platform, and determine how to incentivize users to purchase. More planning. We want to know who we're doing user research with. So I listed out a couple different things and then highlighted in green what I wanted the participants in the user research to have as qualities, right? Experience with my business, anything. I'm good with anything. If they have no experience, if they're a previous customer, if they're a current follower, whichever. Technology experience, I had a preference for high and medium levels of technology experience. Online shopping experience was pretty important to me. I wanted someone who had at least made 1 online purchase in the last 6 months. So we excluded the has not made an online purchase in the last 6 months. And location, I said Washington State and USA because that is currently who I sell to. I currently don't sell to international folks, so I had a preference for Washington State and USA. Next, we copy pasted the sticky notes from the reevaluated what we hope to learn from this research, and then we created some research questions from that. Our research questions were, how do online shoppers discover retail websites and products? What are online shoppers' goals when on a retail website? How do online shoppers achieve their goals when on a retail website? And what incentivizes online shoppers to make a purchase? So then we come over here to this kind of wild looking diagram. It's not that crazy though, I promise. I was planning on doing a survey for this information. I actually nixed this, so this is not a thing that was in there, because I decided if I do have international folks answer the survey, it's not that big of a deal. It's not like a bunch of information that I don't need. But basically what this is the layout of the survey. I don't think I said that. This is the layout of the survey and is also showing the research questions that we were just talking about and what questions within the survey that they tie to, so that we can make sure that we are hitting all of our research questions and making sure that they are all being answered. So we're starting off by asking, how often do you shop online and what type of shopping do you do online? These are both kind of weed out questions. So wanting to see that, again, a person is shopping more or at least once every 6 months, and specifically shopping online at least once every 6 months. And also looking for someone who does recreational shopping of some kind, not just doing necessary shopping, because the type of shopping that I offer is recreational shopping. I don't offer necessities like household necessities, groceries, personal necessities like clothing, or again, household like cleaning supplies. We're then asking, what online stores do you use for recreational shopping? And then going into a bunch of other questions that are kind of going through the different things, right? So how did you originally find these online stores? So looking at that of how do online shoppers discover retail websites and products? When visiting an online store, what is your goal most often? This one has like find a specific product, browse new products, find information, browse all products, or other. That's looking at what are online shoppers' goals when on a retail website. Then listing out a couple features and asking participants to rank them from most often used to least often used. And also asking if there's any other features that online stores have that they use often or enjoy. We then have this split. And so this split is based on this question. When visiting an online store, what is your goal most often? So I wanted to have a little bit personalized for if a user selected find a specific product here, they'd have a specific flow, or if a user selected browse new products, browse all products, or anything else, they would have a different flow. And for the most part, these are pretty similar. One of the differences is in find a specific product. They are also asked, in addition to how often do you successfully find and purchase a specific product on an online store, how likely are you to buy additional products when finding your specific product? And then the other two questions are the same, just with specific wording around that specific product. The other one is how likely are you to buy products when visiting an online store? And then again, the very similar questions of what encourages you to buy products on an online store, and are there any other reasons you are encouraged to buy products in online stores? And that wraps up the survey. We have a long answer question of just like anything else you'd like to share about your experiences shopping online or shopping on my website, and then the end. So to encourage participation in the survey, I actually offered a $25 gift card to my shop as a giveaway for folks who answered the survey. And we actually got a good number of responses, like not as many as I would have hoped for. I don't think I set a goal, but generally with surveys, like anywhere upwards of like 15 to 20 people, I feel like is generally good. You want more with a survey because it is qualitative data or numbered data. So having more is not generally too overwhelming to analyze, and is just good to have more so that you can be more confident in the results, right? But we got 13 responses. Good morning, friends. We're going to be working on analyzing the data now. The sun is like right in my face if you can't tell, so I will be screen recording some of it so y'all can see. But let's just get right into it. Okay, I had problems with this question just because there wasn't an equal amount of options and then things, and requiring a different one in every single row was confusing people, and I guess Forms was having issues with it. I don't know. So I just turned that off. So our data is all wonky. I mean, you can see like people just put vary for like 3 different things, 4 different things, and then just didn't note like not encouraging or very not encouraging. So our data is all weird. So analyzing this one is going to be very vibes based. So I feel like we can determine this is probably most, right? And it has the highest number. If we were gonna like analyze it based on rank choice, which is what we did up here, I don't think I talked about it, but we used rank choice calculations to analyze this. This would be the clear winner because it has the majority. I think then also just looking at the graph helps me go vibes based. I don't know, it was hard to wrap my head around the not vibes based. I think we would have to go this one next. We'll do numbers, that'll help. So 1 is most, 2 is next most, and there's a question between these 3, right? So this has equal number. This one would probably be before the other one, just because it has still some very encouragings and it has more encouragings than this one does. This one has 1 encouraging, 1 not encouraging. I think we then go this one and then this one with the least because it doesn't have any very encouragings, I think is what we should land on. Okay, so we have most, and that is additional product. No, it's additional, actually I can just copy paste. Probably be easier. So the additional product is something I've also been looking to purchase. I think that makes sense. The kind of neutral category is the company is a small business. The additional product is priced reasonably is the second most. The additional product is beautiful, cute, or fun to look at is the least. And the additional product is interesting, new, or innovative functionally is the not the least, but the second least. Like I mentioned earlier, I had a split in my survey, so you can see that again up here, where we were talking about looking for a specific product, and then mostly talking about how likely are you to buy additional products, and then if they indicated that they just kind of browse and aren't looking for a specific product, we have just like what encourages you to buy products in general. This question is essentially the same as this one. This one's just talking about additional products versus not specific products in general. And this question had the same issues. I don't actually remember if I fixed this one. I don't think I did. So that's probably why we have a lot lower response rate. Oops. We're gonna go vibes based on this one again. I think this one, say, is most, because it has the highest number. I think I would say this one's next, because it has. And then probably this one, right? And then this, and then this, because it has the highest number of very not encouragings on this one. I feel like that makes sense. Again, this is the analysis of this. If I had implemented the question correctly, I would have been able to do it math numbers based by using rank choice analysis stuff, how you would analyze rank choice voting, because this is essentially a rank choice vote, but I didn't implement it correctly, so we're going vibes based analysis. And it's a little interesting to see the difference between the two, right? If people are looking to buy additional products, the highest reason that they would is because it's something they have also been looking to purchase. Whereas people are just looking at products in general, the biggest reason that they would choose to purchase is because it's beautiful, cute, or fun to look at, which is the least thing on the other one for additional products, which I think is very interesting. Okay, I'm gonna do a thing called affinity analysis on these. So this section down here is the additional things that folks talked about encourage them to buy additional products when they're shopping online for a specific product. And this section up here is talking about what encourages them to buy products when they're shopping online in general. So affinity analysis is grouping all of these different things by theme, vibe, subject, stuff like that. So for example, we have free shipping up here. We also have a couple different things on like needing to meet a free shipping minimum, needing to meet a shipping upgrade, free shipping. So a couple different things on shipping encourages, specifically free shipping encourages folks to purchase. There's also some notes on like deal for purchasing multiple products or bundle deals or discounts. Also special deals. We'll leave coupons kind of out there, and then online only price. I feel like I remember cheaper online than in store. Also unique products, need the product. So that's kind of talking about products in general. There's also like convenience of online versus store, something that's hard to find in person, no hassle with sales people, easy to find online and hard to find in person. I'll kind of tentatively put exclusively available online there as well. I messed with the settings. And I like the artist kind of is by themselves as well. We will put coupons over with the deals or discounts, and looking for gifts is kind of off on its own as well, because I'll kind of explain my thought process for each of the groups. So we have shipping and specifically free shipping. Actually, let me label these. This one's free shipping, free or discounted shipping deals. This one is kind of like personality almost, I guess. Add a question mark. This one is kind of about the products. This is around the circumstances that people are looking online shopping. Around online shopping, which we have some more information about that in one of these. Like what kind of shopping you do online is kind of related to that. I feel like I had something else as well. Maybe I'm misremembering. Online only price and cheaper online than in person is around like online pricing. And I guess it's online pricing versus in person. Deals for purchasing multiple products, bundle deals or discounts, coupons, special deals. So this is like deals and bundling almost. And then this one is a little bit related to the online pricing versus in person, because again, it's kind of like comparing the two, but this is more like convenience of online versus in person. And then we already kind of sorted out this one, but I'll just talk through it really fast. This was the features that folks like that encourage them to purchase. So we have like product filters and sorting options. We have kind of related to that because it's like product categories, but we have on sale and clearance sections. A lot of people said the recommended for you sections they use a lot. Shipping FAQ and options, where product ships from, so things around shipping again are important. I think that's kind of what this is telling me. I hadn't really thought too much about the importance of shipping, but it makes sense because if it's online, you have to have it shipped to you. So of course that's gonna matter. Some folks said some more information, event calendar, about us page, and one person mentioned product description, specifically size and weight, mentioning how that helps them know how it's gonna fit into their life. Like, is it going to be light enough or small enough or large enough to fulfill whatever the product needs to do for them. Product comparison tools, which feels a little bit less relevant for my website specifically and the types of products that I sell, but makes a lot of sense because I also utilize, especially when you're looking at things that kind of vary and could vary in price and specifications. Things with more like specifications, essentially. A lot of tech stuff I think it's useful for. One-click buy and add to cart from page. And this person, from the page one, they specifically said without having to open up a new tab. So I'm kind of thinking of like from the overarching, like when you search or you're looking at all products or a specific product category. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to kind of take all of this information that I've kind of learned and throw together some what we call research insights, and they're kind of just like short statements about what we think we've learned from this research. And I'll come back and talk through those with y'all in a second. Okay, so we have got a long list of the research insights. We used our data analysis or research analysis board. You can kind of see where I was pulling different things in from, but we're just gonna read through all of these right now. And this other column that I've already went and done is kind of the actions that I think we can take or decisions we can make based on the research insights. So some of them don't have any because it's more like it's information that I think is nice to know. And a lot of it is like information about like who the people who are going to be shopping on my website are. So the majority of users are shopping online at least once every 3 months or more. Users most often complete necessity shopping online and recreational shopping for themselves online. That we can make the assumption or decision to focus on recreational shopping. And then we can, in the future, consider expanding products into necessities. So this is more like a future thinking, and both of these are a little bit more along the lines of like product type rather than website design. But I wanted to include them anyways. Users find online stores most often by seeing them on social media platforms and using search engines. So we should definitely focus on social media reach and focus on search engine SEO, which is something I've like vaguely focused on before, but like not really, because I don't really understand it, to be completely honest. But we should learn more about this to be able to better leverage search engines. And then users either do not see advertisements about stores and products or do not pay much attention to them. So we shouldn't focus on advertisements or sponsored posts. And there's the caveat here that I don't know what users had in mind when they were seeing advertisements as a word. Are they considering like sponsored posts on social media as advertisements? Because I do. Or are they thinking about like more traditional advertisements like television ads, newspaper ads, etc.? So a little bit of a caveat here that maybe we consider social media ads because we know that users are finding online stores often through social media. And then users are encouraged to purchase when deals like free shipping, bundle discounts, or coupons are available. So we should definitely offer a free shipping deal with a minimum purchase, something that I don't do currently, and offer more bundle discounts. And I was thinking along the lines of 3 stickers for X price, which is something that I do in person, but I haven't implemented online. I don't think would be too hard to implement online. And then users visit an online store with the goal of browsing all products. So default to browsing all products or offer that as an option, which looking at other people's websites, online retail stores, often it is an option that they have. And I know me as someone who browses through, I definitely prefer the browsing through all products. And then users also visit an online store with the goal of finding a specific product. So we also want to offer multiple ways to find a specific product. I'm just thinking like the ability to search, the ability to use categories. So if they're looking for like a notebook or something, being able to go to a category for that, and ability to use filters and sort. And often users do not want to browse new products or find information when visiting an online store. I think the browsing new products surprised me the most, but essentially means we shouldn't prioritize information or browsing new products on the homepage. We can kind of put that further down the page or not even on the homepage at all. We should also default to recommended or something on product browse pages. So when you're looking through a category or looking through all products, default the sort. Maybe I should add that in to make it more clear. Default the sort to something like recommended rather than newest, which is what it currently is on my website. Then users want to see products recommended for them based on products bought and looked at. So prioritize recommended for you features, such as on product pages, in the cart, on the homepage. Users want to control what they see when browsing through products. So prioritize good categorization, filters, and sort by options. That makes sense. We'll probably, actually let me add this as well. We'll probably want to do some more user testing on this. Throw that in orange. So user testing opportunity on making sure that our categorization, filters, and sort by options make sense to users. Users want additional information about shipping, especially in a world with uncertain tariffs and import fees. So having the shipping FAQs include amounts, so how much it costs to ship, as well as where we're shipping from. Then we have a couple that don't have any actions associated. Users are encouraged to shop online when it is more convenient than shopping in person. The action that would be associated with this would just be make it convenient to shop online, like user-friendly, which I think is already the goal and feels kind of vague, so I didn't put an action in there. When looking at an online store, 80% or more of users are likely to purchase a product. Similarly, I think this means that users are predisposed once they're on your store to want to make a purchase, so it's really making it easy for them to make that decision to purchase and getting that traffic to your store site. When users are looking for a specific product on an online store, they find and purchase a product 50% of the time or more. Very similar to this one, where users are kind of predisposed to purchasing when they're actually on your store. Then when looking at specific products to purchase, users are likely to purchase additional products just to continue to encourage that, show users progress to discounts if applicable. So like we were talking about offering free shipping if you meet a minimum purchase order, show the progress to that. So $20 more to reach free shipping, or if like we're doing a bundle discount, say add 2 more stickers to get X price. And then also, as we've also talked about before, show users relevant products or related products on product pages and in the cart to encourage them to purchase additional products. Users most often use the product category sections on online stores. This one feels a little bit vague to me, but make good product category options. Again, like a user testing opportunity there. Users least often use the order history on online stores, so we don't have to prioritize good order history. It's probably still good to have good order history, and I think most online platforms that you would build off of have some sort of order history. Because users use it the least often, we don't need to really prioritize it when we're looking at features. Ooh, this is not correct as well. When looking at additional products to purchase, users are encouraged to purchase when the additional product is something they have been looking to buy and it is priced reasonably. I think what we can just do for this one is, again, we want to show users relevant products on product pages and in the cart so that they can see if there is other things that they've been looking to buy, as well as the price. And when looking at products to purchase, users are encouraged to purchase when the product is beautiful, cute, or fun to look at, and when it is something they have been looking to purchase. So prioritizing good product images and a lot of visuals is important for this to show off what the product actually looks like. So the next thing that we want to do is a little thing called information architecture. And this is essentially going to tell us what the layout of our website is going to look at. So you have a couple different things here. We have a page, content on a page, a decision point, and a predefined process. So we're going to use these, and then we have some color coding of what's on our website and what's on external websites. And what we're going to do, we're literally just going to start building out how our website is going to flow. So you can think of if someone's coming from a search engine, if someone's coming from social media, and we'll prioritize those two since those are generally the ones that we see folks coming from the most often. We're probably going to have a homepage, right? So this will be the start of our website. I'm just gonna turn these all green for the moment. So if we have our homepage, what kind of content do we want on our homepage? Probably like a recommended for you section / carousel, what's new products, which again, we kind of want to deprioritize. This one will probably want high, but we can also add in like highlighted things in, I'm thinking like a slideshow type with lots of visuals, because again, we want to prioritize visuals there. And then linking back to our social media will be important. I think that's what we'll have for the moment for this. In addition to the homepage, other high-level things, I think we'll want like a shop all option. And then, okay, so currently this is the layout of my website. We're just gonna go here real fast. So I have shop as a singular option, and then about and contact, and then this is the homepage. We have what's new, which would be changed. We have information about events. We have most popular, which I think would move up potentially and maybe be renamed something like recommended for you. It also might not be by popularity. There's Ko-fi, and then social media. What I'm thinking is a lot of places, like if we go to Amazon, right? They have instead of just one, I mean, Amazon is also crazy, but they have all of their different like sections or categories up at the top. So you can on music or pharmacy. So I'm thinking if we have a shop all and then we have categories, and we probably want to limit this. Maybe we'll limit this to 3 additional categories and then sale. And each of these additional categories can have subcategories for the navigation. And we'll also want like a contact and about, but maybe we combine these. So maybe it's something like about and contact is a submenu that is available there. And then we're gonna call these product tiles. We're gonna call them. The product tile is going to have the image, price, title, or maybe name is a better. Images, name, price. Oh, and we want a add to cart action. Clicking on product tile will take us to the product page. So product page, similarly, is going to have all of these things. We're going to have the images, name, price, add to cart action. We'll also want like a description about shipping information, which we're going to say is separate from description. Progress to discounts, that's what we'll call it. Like I'm doing some rearranging, but we're not super worried about hierarchy right now. This is mostly just a never-ending list. And then we also want recommended product carousel, and that will once again have product tiles within it. So we're gonna copy paste that here. Okay, so that feels pretty good as to what we're gonna have there. Ooh, I should also add in for the shop all page, we need a filter options section as well as a sort by thing. So I think this is about what our website is looking like. The biggest thing that we still need to determine is what categories we want. So, I mean, I think what we probably will do, so stickers, stationery, ooh, we have zines, clothing, which I'm kind of hoping to phase out. We have keychains, pins, sun catchers, temporary tattoos, prints is a big one. I feel like that's most of the things. Oh, we have mouse pads and sticker books. So just thinking about things, I think we can kind of group some things together. So I feel like clothing, keychains, and pins kind of fit under like wearables. Sun catchers, prints, mouse pads kind of fit under household items or like decor. And I think stickers, stationery, maybe sticker books, I don't know. Temporary tattoos fits under wearables. Stickers, stationery, we'll throw in like, instead of saying, so I think the words, I think what I'm thinking is this overarching category will be called stationery. It'll include stickers, journals, washi tape, cards, notepads, then we kind of have these two. So I think sticker books I can put under stationery. All right, zines though. Zines are kind of an outstanding thing, and I'm wondering if they need their own category, which means that we would increase the number of categories to 4 instead of 3, which I don't think is the worst thing. So I think we'll do that because I don't think zines really fit in anywhere else too much. There we go. Fix the things, and then we'll label these categories. So we have what? Let's start with stationery because stationery is like the most popular category. And maybe we'll call it stationery and stickers. Maybe instead of wearables, we'll call it like clothing and accessories. I feel like that's a more, a better name for it. Makes more sense. Clothing and accessories. And then we have household decor and zines, to kind of just get their own little category. And then we have the sale category, which just means that people can see like things that are on sale really easily. And then about and the cart. So overall we will have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 things across the top, which I feel like kind of tracks generally. I think it'll be very different from what I currently have, but I think that will be good. And I think with that wraps up this video for today. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, consider subscribing. There's going to be 2 more parts for this video series. In the next one, I will be focusing on doing the visual design and things like that for the new website. And the 3rd part will be like implementing and all that jazz. So some fun stuff coming. I'd also like to thank my Ko-fi subscribers for their support. If you're interested in supporting me further, consider subscribing to me on Ko-fi. Consider subscribing to me on Ko-fi for $1 or $3 a month. You will get various rewards like your name in this video, as well as behind the scenes monthly sketchbooks and monthly digital backgrounds for desktop and mobile. Thank you again for watching, and I will see y'all in the next one. Bye.